Alright, good news. Meron tayong good news dito na ito ay isang patunay na paano masasabi na terorista ang tao kung yung pinaratang sa kanya ay hindi naman pala totoo. As you can see sa ating date dito, ayan, September 28, 11 a.m. And ayan, ito po yung ipinataw na kaso kay Kong Teves. As you can see, ito ay for illegal possession of explosives. Grabe ano. Makikita nyo, PNP, CIDG versus Kong Teves and Jose Palo Gimarangan. So, basahin natin. Resolution, ito date filed March 12 and submitted April 19. This resolves the complaint filed by the PNP Police Criminal Investigation or PNP CIDG, si James Rui Navarro and Angelo Provido and Pat Jeffrey Carillo. So against respondent, ayan na, alam na natin si Kong Teves at saka si isang Jose Palo Gimarangan for illegal possession of explosives. Yan. Ito yung facts. PNP CIDG applied for a search warrant against property owned by respondent Teves Jr. Yan, located dyan sa address na yan, sa Basay. And Executive Judge Alan Francisco Garciano of Regional Trial Court of Mandawi City issued search warrant. Ayan, so nag-issue sila ng search warrant over the subject property for ayan, RA 9516. To implement the search warrant, PNP CIDG conducted a case briefing noong March 10 around 2 a.m. Ayan, madaling araw. During the briefing, Police Corporal Provido was designated as seizing officer. Ito medyo mahaba-haba ito, no? Pat Carillo was designated as the recorder daw, and PSSG Navarro was designated as the photographer. So merong video, recorder at saka videographer. Next page. Ayan. Thereafter, complainants arrived. Dumating daw itong mga PNP, grupo ng PNP CIDG sa area and waited for the barangay kagawad of Barangay Poblacion, Basay, Negros Oriental. Yun yung pagkakasabi nila. Inantay daw nila yung kagawad to witness the implementation of the search warrant of the subject property, two-story building. The only occupant in the subject property is respondent Gimarangan. So wala doon si Kong Teves. He was informed of the presence of the members of PNP CIDG who will implement the search warrant. Respondent Gimarangan affixed his signature in the search warrant. Pero 'di ba, according kila Kong Teves, isang oras bago yung pasok nila bago inantay or bago sumama yung mga witnesses like yung barangay kapitan, ay pumasok muna daw sila doon na sila lang. Diba? Okay. Designated searcher, ayan, Police Corporal Provido equipped himself with a body-worn camera. Wala naman silang pinakita, diba? Yung nakita natin yung CCTV ng bahay doon sa pagpasok na may bit silang bag na parang punong-puno, 'di ba? Wala naman silang pinakita. The implementation of the search warrant was also video recorded daw kasi wala tayong nakita. Navarro using an alternative recorded device, a cellular phone with model Realme 6 with serial number. Talagang with serial number pa. O sige, sabihin na natin, okay, sige. Before entering the subject property, the barangay kagawad frisked o kinapkapan daw yung mga CIDG to see to it that he had no contrabands or illegal items in his possessions before he conducted his search. Di ba nga nakita natin sa CCTV, pumasok sila, may daladalang bag. Ano yun? Corporal Provido started his search on the second floor where he saw, 1 caliber 40 Glock 23 pistol bearing serial number, with inserted magazine loaded with 15 live ammunitions of caliber 40 pistol placed in a sliding bag hanged at the headboard of the bed at the bedroom. Tanga-tanga pala to diba? Kung sino man yung mga gumagawa ng ganito, tanga-tanga kasi bakit ilalagay mo lang doon, diba? Corporal Provido saw nearby 2 firearms licenses, 2 permits to carry outside residence, and 1 identification LTAP, all in the name of respondent Gimarangan. Found inside the wooden cabinet is 1 unit caliber Glock. So, pangalawang Glock ito. With inserted, parehas din, loaded down. So, move. Provido continued to search in the first floor while in the stock room. Sa stock room to he seized on top of wooden cabinet 1 unit caliber pistol para ordnance bearing serial number loaded din, live 7 ammunitions. Also on top of the same wooden cabinet, nakaseize daw siya ng high fragmentation grenade. What? Really? Diba? Ano yan? Saan yan? Sa stock room. Ikaw ba naman, tatanga-tanga ka, lalagay ka ng granada sa stock room. Napakadelikado nun. Diba? Thereafter, a different room in the first floor. Diba? Ayun pa nga kay Attorney Topacio. Doon pa nga daw nakita yung granada doon sa sa laundry basket. Although dito hindi naka-indicate, basta stock room ang nakalagay dito. Seized 1 thereafter, the different room in the first floor. Provido seized 1-piece rifle scope. Wow! Sniper rifle inside an open shelf at the top of a television casing. Provido then asked respondent Gimarangan if he has license or authority to possess said firearm and high fragmentation grenade, but the latter answered in the negative. Wala daw. Respondent Gimarangan was then arrested while police Provido appraised him of his constitutional rights. So binasahan daw siya ng kanyang Miranda rights. Next. Ito yung mga items na nakuha daw. Caliber pistol, magazine marked. Magazine, 7 live ammunitions, 1 grenade, tapos isang rifle scope. Respondent Gimarangan refused to sign the receipt of property seized and certificate of good conduct and orderly search daw. The data from the alternative recording device were retrieved, downloaded by PSSG Navarro to an external media storage device, USB, and kept in his possession. He executed an affidavit of recorder to prove the authenticity of the contents of external media storage. Meanwhile, Provido, being in possession of the body-worn camera, has requested for extraction of contents from PNP City Operations. Ang dami nilang sinasabi. May mga recorded daw sila pero wala naman silang naipakita. Complainants also attached the following documents. Ito daw yung documents in support of the complaint. So ito daw, ito joint affidavit, search warrant, certificate of good conduct, all in all, all in all. Next. So, the undersigned issued the inquest resolution referring to the case of preliminary investigation to determine who and between respondent Teves Jr. and Gimarangan has actual or constructive possession over the seized items. So nagkaroon daw ng inquest resolution para alamin kung sino daw ang may-ari, si Teves ba o si Gimarangan. During the preliminary investigation, the PNP-CIDG submitted additional documents, particularly certification doon sa EOD, okay? Memorandum dated March 13 para doon sa firearms and explosives. Okay? In respondent Gimarangan's counter affidavit, he states that there are no evidence showing ownership or possession, either actual or constructive of the said firearms. He also states that the issue as the actual or constructive possession of firearms was not addressed by the PNP-CIDG when it submitted additional documents. So, hindi daw naka-address sa kanya. Respondent Gimarangan further argues that he is not the person mentioned in the search warrants and that the property stated in the search warrants pertains to a building Aso Carrera, which is sa HD Tulong yun, di ba? Allegedly owned by respondent Teves Jr. So parang gustong sabihin ni Gimarangan dito na hindi akin yan, kay Teves yan, parang ganon. However, the property actually searched was a small house not owned by respondent Teves Jr. So, hindi daw siya own yung small house na yon. Okay? Respondent Gimarangan alleged that the search warrants were wrongfully issued since the court which issued the same had no probable cause since said court merely relied on the unverified tip of the confidential informant. So, wala daw okay, wrong daw yung address. Finally, he argues that he had no animus possidendi over the firearms recovered since these were allegedly planted by the armed persons even before the PNP-CIDG conducted the search. Hindi ko alam ano ibig sabihin ng animus possidendi na yan. Hindi tayo attorney. But parang ang dating is wala siyang walang kinalaman dahil sa tingin niya ay planted. 'Di ba yung sinasabi nga 1 hour nandun na sila prior to the barangay officials witness. With respect to respondent Teves Jr., he filed a verified consolidated motion to dismiss. In lieu of counter affidavit, he argues ito si Kong Teves na ito. He argues the inherent insufficiency of complainant's evidence since the additional evidence failed to prove the element of possession. According to him, there is no probable cause for a physical and or constructive possession on the part of respondent Teves Jr. And there is also no proof of animus possidendi as to the recovered items. Alright, next. Eto na. Malapit na tayo sa resolution. The elements of illegal possession of firearms are as follows. Ito yung elements. Elements. Ito yan. Number 1, existence of the firearms, ammunition, or explosives. Number 2, ownership or possession of firearms, ammunition, or explosive. Number 3, lack of license to own or possess. Okay. Ngayon, the existence of caliber 45 para ordnance bearing serial blah blah blah, magazine, live ammunition, and so on and so forth. And rifle scope are apparent. So apparent yun yung existence. Siyempre, nakita nila, nasis nila doon sa bahay na yun. After the said firearms and ammunitions were recovered, respondent Gimarangan was confronted with the same but failed to present any license that he or respondent Teves Jr. are authorized to own or possess said firearms and ammunitions. Hence, the first and third elements are present. So, itong number 1 daw, existence of firearms, ammunition, explosives, present daw yan. And then number 3, lack of license to own and possess, present daw yan. As to the second element, complainant failed to adduce additional evidence to support his allegation as to the ownership and possession of respondent Teves Jr. of the property where search warrant was implemented. Hence, the determination of who has possession of the recovered item shall be based solely on the attachment to the complainant. So, nag-fail si si Gimarangan. Nag-fail siya dito. So, hence, itong number 2, okay, ayan. Based on the records, it appears that the respondent Gimarangan exercised the possession over the subject items seized as he was the occupant of the building where the subject loaded 45 caliber and rifle scope were seized. Necessarily, he would have constructive possession over these items since these were under his control and management as the occupant of the building. So, yung animus possidendi daw is very apparent kay Gimarangan. Kasi nandun daw yung firearms, yung rifle scope, at nandun din daw siya at na-establish daw na siya daw yung occupant at may-ari ng building. Necessarily, his knowledge and access to the items are evident. Moreover, if he had no intent to possess these items, he would have surrendered the same to the proper authorities even before. Ayan, so dapat kung hindi siya daw dapat tinon over na siya. Kung tinon over na niya yung mga firearms. Similarly, respondent Gimarangan's defense that his name was not stated in the search warrant does not invalidate the warrant. As mentioned, okay, may na-cite dyan na GR. Even if the search warrant did not contain the name of the accused, that defect did not invalidate it because the place to be searched was described properly. Okay. As cited by GR number 149878. No controverting evidence other than bare allegations has been presented to support his claims that the search warrant number 8303012 is invalid. Moreover, respondent Gimarangan's bare allegations as to the planting of firearms and explosives in the property before the members of, ito na yung last, the PNP sa IDG implemented the search were also not supported by any evidence. Basic is the rule that an allegation is not evidence and could not be made equivalent to proof. Ayan, cited din siya ng GR 197849. Eto na ang decision. Finally, the insufficiency of evidence as to the presence of the second element, of the crime against respondent Teves Jr. warrants that the dismissal of complaint against him. Basa niya. No proof that he is the owner of the subject property and that he has actual constructive possession over the recovered loaded caliber 45 pistol and rifle scope has been submitted to the PNP CIDG despite opportunity to do so. This case, as far as respondent Arnulfo Teves Jr. is concerned, is hereby remanded to the PNP CIDG for the conduct of further investigation. Wherefore, the undersigned respectfully recommends, number 1, ito, number 2 ang importante dito, basahin muna natin number 1. The attached information for illegal possession of firearms under Section 28 Republic Act number 10591 against respondent Jose Palo Gimarangan be approved. Okay? So, parang dito, guilty. Number 2, complainant against respondent slowly. Complaint against respondent Arnulfo Teves Jr. be, pakibasa nga, anong basa nyo dyan? Be dismissed. Past tense. Be dismissed without prejudice. So ordered. Okay? So, nakita nyo naman kung sino yung mga prosecution dyan, sino yung Deputy State Prosecutor and the Prosecutor General. Don't tell me binayaran ito. Oh, as you can see, addressed yan sa Department of Justice. In short, paano natin masasabi ngayon ah, na kung terorista itong si Teves, di sa kanya dapat ito. Hindi siya dapat dismiss dito, di ba? So somehow nakikita natin, pero parang may semblance of fairness dito. Sa tingin ninyo?